All right, stats, one last foray into this. 4.2b is just a scenario. It's shoe size versus IQ and the relationship between them. Now, first off, do we expect these two to be related? Not really. But let's see what the data says. So over on the right, we have a table with shoe sizes and the IQs of the person relative to their shoe size. So we calculate the correlation coefficient by putting this either into your calculator or onto a website that'll calculate it for you. And we get an R of negative 0.2054. Now recall, since R is always between -1 and 1, the closer it is to the outsides, the stronger the relationship. So the closer you are to -1 or 1, the stronger it is. The closer you are to 0, the weaker the connection is. This is a pretty weak connection. And what does a negative correlation mean? Well, technically it means as your shoe size gets bigger, your IQ apparently goes down, but not a whole lot. Is that significant? So if we look at the table, which tells us like that critical value that you have to hit, which we also saw in the 4.2a notes at the bottom when we were trying to determine if it's strong or not. We have a sample of size 6, and for a sample of size 6, we need at least 0.811. This is the critical value for n equals 6. And so you take the absolute value of your number from the problem. Is 0.2054 greater than 0.811? No. If it's not significant, that means you really shouldn't use the regression line, but we can still calculate what the regression line would be, we just won't use it. So if you put all the numbers in for the regression calculator, you get y equals -1.69x plus 114.18. That means, in theory, if you have no shoe size, your feet don't exist, you've got about 114 IQ, but for every shoe size up from there, you lose about 1.7 points of IQ. Not totally reasonable, so should we use it? Don't use it. But if you're going to predict the IQ of a person, and you're not using a regression line, you just need to use the average of that data. So if not using regression to predict, use what we call y bar, which is the average of the values, or the mean. So to find the mean, of course, we can add everything together and divide by 6. And when we do that, it looks like we get 614 over 6, and that is 102.33. We don't have a better way of determining it otherwise, so we say we use y bar of 102.33 since there is no strong relationship. And that's it. That's the last thing we're going to do for the semester. I know it's been a challenging semester transitioning from in-person to online, but when you think about it, you have learned a good lesson. That means if you have to take an online class later, you at least know how to adjust yourself to it better than you would have before. I will, again, give out more information on the final tomorrow. When is it going to be? How are we going to do it? And I hope to see you guys another semester.